All right, go ahead and point to it. Module 2, weather. Our first word. Weather.
Weather.
Meteorologist.
Meteorologist.
Component.
Component. Temperature.
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 Thermometer.
Thermometer.
Moisture.
Moisture.
Rain.
Rain.
Droplet.
Droplet.
Shower.
Shower.
Sun.
Sun.
Hot.
Hot.
Wind.
Wind.
Chinook.
Chinook.
Snow.
Snow.
Freeze.
Freeze.
Sleet.
Sleet.
And what is that one?
Rainbow.
These are all some of our new weather words that are going to help us to understand and learn all about the weather. Remember we had all of our toy books on this side? Well, now we have all of our books that are going to help us to learn about weather. And some of them we're going to listen to and read today. And the rest of them have new characters that we'll learn about. And we'll learn about their settings and all the weather words that are going to help them. Let's see, you want to come and try your new anchor charts for Module 2. Bless you. 4 components of weather. The first component, say temperature.
Temperature.
The second component is moisture, which is kind of like rain or drizzling in the air. Say moisture.
Moisture.
What do you think the third component is? The wind. Sometimes we have gentle winds and sometimes we have a what? Tornado. That's a stronger wind. And the fourth component is, can you say air pressure?
Air pressure.
Excellent. Over on her next new chart are some parts of the weather and some sentences that will help you to learn about the weather. Ooh, is that one of our sight words?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. It is, what kind of weather is it? Sunny. Good job. It is cloudy.
Cloudy.
It is windy. Excellent. It is rainy. Wonderful. Can you review our old words at the bottom before we go back to the carpet? Good job. Wonderful. Let's tiptoe back to our carpet squares. Thank you, Ava. Excellent. Boys and girls, today is Monday, October 20th. Keep going with our morning. Of course my click is on. It is time for our module. Boys and girls, we are finished with module 1, and you all did such a great job sharing your toys. Thank you for bringing your toys on Friday, and that was the end of module 1 with toys. And now we're in module 2, and we're on lesson 2 today. Oh, I see some friends found our learning target. Our target for today is going to be, I can use words and pictures to describe what we observe about the weather. You see those eyeballs?
Yeah.
That means you're going to observe and look at something very closely. Thank you.
I keep looking at the pumpkin.
You do, because it's a fall.
Pumpkin.
So on lesson 1, do y'all remember who we met? Who did we meet in lesson 1? Does anyone remember her name?
Sophia.
Sophia. Sophia was so curious. She wanted to learn about babies. So what did she have to do? She had to read a lot of books about babies. She had to talk to experts. She had to practice. Then she wanted to learn all about the goldfish, the baby puppies, the real baby. And then she told her mom she wanted to pick out her own clothes. But her mom said, before you do that, you have to learn all about the what? Clothes. Lanai, what do you think? The weather. So Sophia is going to help us to learn all about the weather in Module 2. And so the words that Ava had for her job, those also helped us to learn about all the words we need for Module 2. Unit 1, yep, Module 2 and Unit 1. So let's see if we have another learning target. Yeah, let's see what it says. I can ask and answer questions about the weather using weather words and what they mean. That's the title of a book. And I can use words and pictures to describe what I observe about the weather. And this is the book that we're going to use to learn about the weather. But before we start learning about the weather, boys and girls, we have one of Ava's words. And it was a big word that was on our word wall. And this word is component. Let's do the syllables. Let's see all the sounds. Ready? Component. The word component means when there's a part of a larger piece. So for example, you see this circle, and they took out this little piece, that is a component because it's just a smaller part of it. And when we're learning about the weather, that's one of the vocabulary words that's going to help us to learn about the weather because there are 4 components of the weather. And this word component, yeah, just like a pizza, slice of pizza. It's going to be in the song that we're going to learn. So you remember when we were singing the toys in our classroom? Remember how that song helped us to learn about the toys that Module 1? Well, the weather song is going to help us to learn and remember all the components of the weather. So Miss Riley's going to help sing one part of it. We're just going to do one part of it, the first verse of it, and then we'll learn the rest of the song later on this week in some other lessons. So here's our song, and it goes to the tune of London Bridge is Falling Down. Do you see this number? What's that number? 4, because there are 4 components. Kind of like on our math fingers. How many fingers are here?
4.
And that word component is going to be here. So just listen, and then we'll try it together. What makes weather? Weather has 4 components, 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 components that work together, making weather. How about that song? It's going to help us to remember that weather has how many components?
4.
So the next time when I sing it, what do you think we can do with our hands? What can we put up to know that it's 4? What can we put up? That's right. Or how many fingers can we put up? 4. Let me see everybody put up 4. You're right. Let me see you put up 4 fingers. There we go. So here we go. We're going to try it. And you can repeat after Miss Riley this time. Weather has 4 components. Components that work together, making weather. One more time. Here we go. Weather has 4 components. Components, components, components that work together, making weather. Good job, boys and girls. So later on this week, we'll talk about the other components, but today you nailed the first verse. Now, we're going to get to listen to our new story. Oh, you do see another target. So this learning target says I can ask and answer questions about the weather using the book called Weather Words and What They Mean. This is our book that we're going to use with our Turn and Talk partners and help us to learn about weather. Let's think about what the word weather means. Weather is the condition that's outside that's concerning the temperature, rain, snow, sun, and other factors. Raise your hand if you can tell Miss Riley one of these weathers that you see right here. What's one that you see? Let's see. What's the picture of a weather that you see here? Snowy weather. Ava, what's one more weather that you might see here? Sun. You see a sunny day. Sometimes we have sunny day. So we're going to use these weather pictures and weather words to help us to describe what we observe about the weather. Let's get into it. We're going to look at the front cover of our book, and there's some words on the front of it. And we're going to think about what we notice about these pictures that are on the front of this book. So think a minute and just look or observe with your eyes and think about what you might see and hear and learn about in our new book. The title is Weather Words and What They Mean by Gail Gibbons. Anybody want to share what they think this book might be about? Silas, what you think the book might be about?
It might be about weather.
It might be about weather. I think that's a good idea. I think so too. Parvane, what do you think this book might be about? What do you think it's going to be about? Yes, I think so, because that is lightning, so it might be about lightning. I see 3 more people, but I just need to choose one more, so I'm going to pick a name out here. Hector. Lanai, tell us what you think this book might be about. Snowy, because they do have snow right there. So the pictures on the front of the cover help you to have an idea of what the story might be about and the kinds of weather we might see. This arrow, this is called a speech bubble. Say speech bubble.
Speech bubble.
You see speech bubbles, they help us learn that someone is talking or speaking in the story when you see a speech bubble. Why do you think someone in this part of the speech bubble in the picture, why do you think they're saying hot?
Because it looks like a sun.
Because the sun, I like the way, thank you, and I like the way Uriah's raising his hand. Uriah, why do you think that this speech bubble says hot?
Because the sun is hot.
Because the sun may be hot and it might make you feel hot outside. This speech bubble says thunder and lightning. Why do we think that that speech bubble says thunder and lightning? Oh, Cecia is not here and Hector isn't, so I got Raul. Raul, why do you think that one says thunder and lightning?
The raining.
Yes, it is, because it's raining and it's probably a storm. And the last speech bubble, I get to start over. The last speech bubble, Parvane, why do you think that one says snow? Why do you think that one says snow?
Because it's too cold.
Because it's probably cold. Do you think the snow is cold? I agree with you. Good job looking at the cover of the book to help us think about what this story is going to be about. Now we're going to read part of it together. We're not going to read the whole book, but we're going to read part of it. And right at the bottom of the book, it says by Gail Gibbons. Guys, I'm not sure if we talked about this, but Gail Gibbons is the author. And the author is the person who writes the book. Gail Gibbons. Here we go. And we're not going to read the whole book. I think that we're just going to read part of the book. Yeah, 1 through 15. I think so. So let's listen to part of it. Weather Words and What They Mean by Gail Gibbons. Ooh, I see some speech bubbles. Look, it's sunny. I need my boots. It's raining. It's beginning to snow. The weather forecast is fair today. That's a radio, in case y'all didn't know. It sure is hot and humid. The weather changes from day to day. Weather Words explain what the weather is like outside. Temperature. Is that one of April's words?
Yes.
The position of the sun and other factors cause the temperature to change. The weather is made up of temperature, air pressure, how much moisture is in the air, and how fast the wind is moving. Moisture. Moisture in the air comes from water that evaporates mostly from the oceans. I see a lot of words from Ava's word wall. Air pressure is the force produced by the weight of the air pressing down on the earth. Wind. Wind is when air is in motion. Temperature. The temperature sometimes goes up, Silas, and down. When the sun rises in the morning, the air becomes warmer and the temperature goes up. When the sun sets in the evening, the air becomes cooler and the temperature goes down. The temperature also changes with the season. The days are warm and longer. Here you have the speech bubble says hot. And over here, what do you think it says how it feels? Cold. In the winter, the sun is low in the sky and the days are cold and shorter.
And it looks like cold and red when you get rain, you have to go inside.
Inside, that's right. Air pressure is the high pressure and the air particles are close together. The air is usually cool and dry, and the high pressure brings fair air weather. High pressure. Low pressure is when the air particles are farther apart, and the air is usually warm and moist. Low pressure brings wet weather. Wet weather means it's what?
Wet.
Is it sunny or rainy?
Rain.
Rainy. We're going to learn about all these different kinds of weather. Bless you. Moisture. The amount of moisture in the air is called humidity. Warm air has more moisture in it than cold air. At night when the air cools down, it can hold as much moisture. The moisture that forms on the ground is called dew. Sometimes when the grass is wet, when we go out in the morning, that's called dew. If the temperature goes below freezing, the dew freezes. Then it's called frost. Moisture makes clouds too. When water evaporates from the rivers, lakes, and oceans, it is called vapor. It moves up with the warm air and forms little drops of water or ice crystals, and a cloud is formed. Clouds come in all shapes and sizes. There are three main kinds of clouds: a cumulus or puffy clouds. That's when we have nice fair weather. Cirrus clouds are the highest clouds, and they're fair weather too, or partly cloudy. And stratus clouds are low gray clouds. That means sometimes they will bring rain or snow. That's where we're going to stop with our story today, and we'll read the rest of the book, Raul, later on this week so that we can continue learning about our new module and weather. And one of the things that we learned when we talked about Curious Sophia, Raul, is how to be a meteorologist. Does anybody remember what job the meteorologist had?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ava, for raising your hand.
I remember that I was school.
Yeah, we talked about the meteorologist. What did the meteorologist, when we see the meteorologist on TV, what do they tell us about? You're right.
Daytime.
Yes, they tell us what time is, if it's daytime, if it's nighttime, and also what the weather is going to be like. Let's see this big word, meteorologist. Let's see if we can clap the syllables. You ready? Meteorologist. Okay, meteorologist.
Meteorologist.
This is a meteorologist, and sometimes we see the meteorologist when we watch the news. They tell us it's going to be a sunny day or a rainy day or a cold day. And just like Sophia, that will help us to know if we need to wear a jacket or if we need to carry an umbrella or wear some sunglasses. Oh, yes, that is our learning target. I can use words and pictures to describe what I observe about the weather. So let's look at these pictures and see if we can use some words. How would you describe this weather? As what kind of day?
Sun.
Sunny day. What about this kind of weather? Cloudy. How about this kind of weather?
Rain.
You did such a good job. You just hit the target. You're using your words and pictures to describe what kind of weather you see. And I really need you to think about those words. And we're going to review them again because today you're going to get a chance to be a meteorologist. Do you think you can be a meteorologist? Show me a thumbs up if you want to be a meteorologist today. And in order to be a meteorologist, you have to observe what the weather is like. Is the weather inside or outside?
Outside.
But guess what? We might have to go outside to observe the weather. When you observe something, you look very, very closely. Yes, Uri.
When I was in my house, it was cold.
It was cold. You were observing the weather. Good observation, Uri. Yes, Ava.
When I go inside, it was raining.
It was raining, so that's a weather observation. Yes, Mercy.
It was snow in my house.
Sometimes it will. Well, boys and girls, as I told you, we're going to go outside today, and we need to think about some things when we go out. We're not going out for recess. We're going out to observe the weather. The first thing I want you to think about, is it sunny or is it cloudy when we go out? Or maybe it's a little bit of both. They call that partly cloudy. Sometimes it is. The second thing is, are there clouds? And if they are clouds, what do they look like? Do they look thin and flat, or do they look fluffy and white? Because we'll learn that we have different types of clouds. And the third thing is it raining or snowing? And if so, what does that look like? So when we go outside, we're going to observe, we're going to look up and see what the weather looks like. And then when we come back inside, we're going to turn and talk and ask some questions about what you saw. So I really want you to think about what you see when we go outside to observe the weather. And it is 50 degrees, so we're going to get our jackets and then line up. And when you get your jackets, line up on your number, and we're going to review a few words before we go outside. All right, friends, we just went outside. We observed the weather. We're going to turn and talk. Before we go to our partners, I want you to think about, what did you observe about the weather? We have two things you're going to say to your partner. When I looked up at the sky, I observed clouds, and it looked like it was cloudy. But we also know how it felt. How did it feel? Cold. Excellent. So this is what your conversation is going to be like when you go with your turn and talk partner. When you're with your turn and talk partner, your knees need to be together. You need to look at each other's what? Eyes. And one person speaks and one person listens. All right. Uriah and Silas, you may go to your space. Ava and Parvane, you may go to your space. Jose isn't here. Lanai and Raul. Raul, y'all can do the carpet space right here. You can go to Raul's space. And Litzy and Mercy and Lucy, you may go to your space. Thank you. I like the way Silas and Uriah are knee to knee. Yes, Ava.
Harmony pushed me. Yeah, and I said sorry.
Thank you. She used a nice word. She said it was an accident. Thank you. All right, friends. So, what did you observe about the weather? So tell your partners, when I looked up at the sky, I observed. So tell them what you saw. I'm coming around to here. Wait for you to be on task and tell her what you saw.
I saw clouds.
You saw clouds. Pardon me, tell her what you saw. You can use some of your weather words when you're describing it. Mm-hmm.
Chili.
And what else? It was chilly. Oh, that was one of the words on the journal. What did you see when you looked up, Raul? Silas, go check the contract. What did you see? Cold. What did you see in the sky? But what did you see in the sky? Did you see rain or sun or clouds?
Cloud.
Clouds. Very good. I like that. It was windy and cold. Good job. Who's next? Mercy?
Cloudy.
Cloudy. Thank you, Mercy. Windy.
Cold.
Ooh, it was cold. I liked all those weather words you used. Lucy, can you say, when I looked up at the sky, what did you observe?
It was cold.
It was cold.
And windy.
Mm-hmm. And what did you see in the sky? Did you see sun or clouds or rain?
Clouds.
Clouds, very good. Did everybody get a turn? One more. Let me hear from Silas and Uriah. Did you turn and talk to your partner? Did you tell him what you observed when you looked outside? Can Miss Riley hear you?
When I look at the sky, I saw clouds.
You saw clouds. Very good, Uriah.
The sky is so clouds.
What did you see, Silas?
Saw clouds.
Excellent. Good job. Tell your turn and talk partner thank you, and please go back to your letter. All right, come on back to your letter, friends. You all did a good job. And remember when we did our toys, we talked about using our strong, loud speaking voice. Is there anyone who would like to come up and tell the class in their strong speaking voice what you observed when you went outside to check the weather? Silas? Come on up. Come stand up. And who would like to be his support person? Lanai, you want to be a support? Okay. Do you need the mic?
I saw the clouds.
You did. How did it feel?
Cold.
Cold. Can you turn towards them and tell them so they can hear you?
I saw clouds. It was cold.
Excellent. Give him a round of applause. Thank you, Silas. You may have a seat. Would one more person like to share? Thank you, Lanai. You can have a seat. Ava. And who wants to be Ava's support? Lucy. Nice, strong turn so they can hear your nice, strong speaking voice.
I see something windy and cloudy.
Windy and cloudy. And how did it feel? How did the weather feel outside?
Cold.
Cold. Thank you for your strong speaking voice. Give her a round of applause. Excellent. Good job. I am so glad that everyone observed that it was a cloudy, cold day outside and you were pretending to be a meteorologist. Thank you to those friends who were supporting the brave people who got up to share. So as a meteorologist, today you're going to get a meteorologist notebook. And in that notebook, you're going to draw and label what weather you just observed. The page, well, let me show you the notebook. Your notebook is inside your workbook that's in your cubbies, but you don't have to get that from your cubby because Miss Riley has already taken it out for you. When you get your meteorologist notebook, the front of it will look just like this, and you're just going to write your name and the date. So Miss Riley, let's see whose name could I use. I'll use Hector's name. We'll put Hector's name on here. We'll pretend this is Hector's. Make sure that's not big. And the date, we're going to write October 28th. We'll put our date on it just like that. So when you get your notebook, you'll write your name and your date, and then you'll get a thumbs up when you have your name and date. After that, we'll get our next direction for the next page. Table leaders, please go and pass out the pencil bags. I know, right? Yes. Thank you, Ava. That was a kind word for you. Table 1, you may go to your seat and take out your pencil.
Thank you.
I heard some nice words. Thank you. Table 2, you may go to your seat and take out your pencil.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Excellent.
You know my name is
Yes, on that line, that's where you'll write your name. Write your name right there with your pencil. Thumbs up when you have your name. Thank you. Good job, Raul. Then and for your date, boys and girls, the month is, what's the month?
October.
So we're not going to write the whole long word October. For October, you can write O-C-T. Go ahead and write the date. Oh, good job, Lucy. Thank you, Uriah. That's correct. Just put a C. I'll get you another one. Yes, put that one in the trash. Thumbs up, we have our name and our date. Good. C. T. And 28. Did you write 28, Silas? Good job. Good job, Ava. Now, friends, turn the page. Hands on your table. Hands under your table. The first page on your notebook, it says draw a picture and add labels to show what you observed. Do you remember how we added labels when we were writing about toys and drawing toys? So first you think about what you noticed. Say think about it. Think about what you observed. Then you're going to use your crayons to draw the picture and your pencil to add the label. Who can raise their hand and tell Miss Riley one picture that you might draw that matches what you saw outside when you were observing the weather? Mercy. Clouds. Let's take a look. What shape do we think clouds would be? Are they a circle? I heard somebody say bumpy, or are they bumpy?
Bumpy.
So it's almost like you're making the letter M all the way around. So you can draw a cloud, and then we'll look at the word wall to see how we can label it. You may put your pencil in your bag and take out your crayon so that you can draw the weather that you observed. What did you observe? What kind of day did you observe, Lindsay? What did you see outside? What did we see outside, boys and girls? Clouds. Cloudy. Yes, I like the way I see Parvati has her clouds. Excellent. After you get your cloud, what kind of day did you see outside of our school? What did you see outside when we went outside and looked up at the sky? Cloudy. Is that a cloud? So show me where you can find a cloud. Where do you think you see a cloud? Walk over and see if you can find a cloud. It was a tiny bit of sun trying to peek out, but I think there were probably more clouds. You see a cloud anywhere? Yeah. You gonna try to draw a cloud? Good job. After you have your cloud, show Miss Riley a thumbs up. This is what your page might look like. You may have used black to make a gray cloud, and some people said they might have seen a blue cloud. So if you draw your picture, then you can put your crayons in the bag and take out your pencil. Beautiful, Parvane. Put your crayon in your bag and take out your pencil. And now we're going to label. Who can tell Miss Riley what label means?
Or if you draw something, you can draw the word.
That's right. When you draw something, then you can write the word. Lanai in table 1, put your crayons in your bag. Let's take out your pencil, please. And we're going to see if we can sound out. Put your hands under the table. Let's see if we can sound out cloud. What's the first sound we hear in cloud? What letter does that look like? C. Look at the letter C. C says K. So besides your cloud, write the letter C. And now, since I know that is cloud, I'm going to go over to my word wall and I'm going to look for the word cloud. I see cloudy. I see cloudy here. So, what's the next letter? Good job. O-U together says ow. So U. D. Very good. Cloud. Thumbs up after you wrote the word and labeled it beside the picture. Excellent. Boys and girls, you did your first meteorologist job. Give yourselves a round of applause. You went and observed the weather. Say, I observed the weather. And I recorded in my notebook. So that means you drew the weather and you labeled what it was, a cloudy day. Please put your pencils in your pencil bag and close your meteorologist notebook. Just like this. And because we're going to write in our notebook each day, you're going to put this in the bottom cubby right where your module workbook is. So you can put it down there in your bottom cubby. Excellent. You may go ahead. When we get to 0, we should be back at the carpet. And 5, 4, 3. Thank you for your walking feet. 2. Yes, thank you. Put it at the bottom of your cubby. 1. Thank you, Lucy. And 0. Good job, friends.
Silas, push your chair.
Friends, we are close to the end of our lesson for today, but we do have one more thing that we're going to do as a meteorologist, and how each day is going to end as we talk about, observe, and record what we learned. We're going to do a little bit of shared writing in a writing journal. And this first one is going to be interactive, which means we're going to do it together. And it's almost like we did the one on Friday after we talked about Sophia. We recorded what the weather was like. So today's date, we already said the month is what?
October.
The month is October. So record that. Now, I'm going to use a friend to come and help us. Today, the weather is. Remember what you went out and observed. Let's read the choices together first. I can get, let's see. Let me pick a helper. Ava, can you get the pointer and point to the different weather before we decide which one the weather is today? Use that one over there, that pointer, Jose's pointer. Yep. Let's see if we can read these words. Kind of like your word walls. Here you go. Stormy, say stormy. Sunny. Snowy. Rainy. Sunny with clouds. Cloudy. And windy. Thank you, Ava. You may have a seat. So out of those, which weather do we think that we observed today? What is today's weather? What do we think today's weather is? Everybody. Cloudy. Yeah, I agree. I think it's cloudy. Lissy, can you come and circle cloudy? Thank you. So today the weather is cloudy. Now, this sentence number 3. These are some sight words we've been practicing. Let's see if we can read it. IT. What does IT say? It is. Now we have to pick one of these words. Was it cold, chilly, warm, hot, wet, or windy? Cold. It was cold. I agree. Let me find a friend to come. Oh, Jose's not here. Silas, can you come and circle cold? Cold, chilly, warm, or hot? Cold. Cold outside. Thank you. And let's see, you can come and record and write cold that he circled. Not Lucy, I'm sorry, Lucy. Lucy, sorry. It is cold outside. There you go. On the line. There you go. Very good. Can we read our sentences now? Today's date is October 28th. Today, the weather is cloudy. It is cold outside. Good job, boys and girls. Give yourselves a round of applause. You did a wonderful job with lesson 2.